Hello everyone, I'm Ian.
I'm Charlie.
And I'm Austin.
And welcome back to Is It Worth It? The show where we put an obscure movie on this wheel here, spin it, and then watch whatever movie comes up. Probably not that one, but maybe. And basically, what is the goal of this show?
We watch the movie and we decide whether it's whether it was worth our time to watch it or not.
We watch a movie that has under 100 cumulative user and critical reviews on IMDb, that's over 20 years old, and that none of us have seen before. Yep. We watch it, we put it on the wheel, we put 8 movies on the wheel, and we ask ourselves, is it worth it? Last time, no. Very much no. But this time, perhaps.
Possibly.
Perhaps.
Let's spin the wheel then. And it's a new one.
Nice.
Alright.
I hope it's not one of mine.
I really hope it's one of mine.
I hope it's one of mine. Please let it be one of mine.
There we go. It is. It's not one of Charlie's, I don't think.
Aw, dang it.
But it might be.
Come on.
It's not his first one because I can see his name. It's one of mine. Oh no. It's one of mine. Oh no.
Dang it, why can't we just watch the ones we want to watch?
That's not what the show is.
Yeah, it's true.
The show is about pain. Now we might either be watching what probably is a semi-passable melodrama from the 1930s.
Oh, yay.
Or we could be watching... I have no idea what to expect, if it is this. And... it is.
Oh, God.
I have...
What's it called?
It's called... Mr. Majestic. Mr. Majestyk. From 1974.
Is this a porno?
No, it's rated PG. Okay, let me read the IMDb. Oh, hold on. This actually doesn't meet our criterion.
Oh.
This is 76 user, 58 critic. Don't know how that made it.
We have to respin.
We do have to respin.
Yeah.
We do. I'm
Can we
sorry.
see the pictures, though?
Well, actually, it wasn't the picture that was funny, it was the description.
Oh, okay.
A melon farmer battles organized crime and a hitman who wants to kill him.
Okay, save this movie.
That's called a melon
Let's
farmer.
watch that this summer, though. Just
A melon farmer battles organized crime.
I'm very excited.
You see why I was kind of both dreading and hoping to watch that movie.
Yeah.
But that movie is not available to us because it has about 120, 130 reviews. I don't know how that slipped by me. But
Alrighty, let's
spin it again.
Yeah.
And it is another movie from today.
It's gonna be mine. Come on, please. Please, let's go.
I'm okay with getting Austin's or mine.
You just don't want it to be mine. You don't want it to be the melodrama from the 1930s. It is... it's one of Austin's.
Ooh.
Which one?
Dragon Inn from 1967.
Alrighty.
Which means it's going to be dubbed.
Oh no! Oh no!
Wait, no, my 2 dub movies were on the last wheel. This one,
they were.
I may be able to find English subtitles because I haven't researched this one at all.
That is thankful.
Austin's great at picking movies that we don't talk during.
Wow.
Whoa.
A lot of poison.
Use the Taiwanese Rasputin.
Yep. They slipped some poison into his wine. He drank it all in.
Hiccuped, and he hiccuped.
He's not dead.
No, he's not. Oh! He's just trying to eat dinner.
Amanda, this happens when I try to eat dinner. Let's get into it.
Do we don't have to recap it. We can just like go over the points that we enjoyed and the points that we
Well,
didn't
no,
enjoy.
I think we do need.
We can go really quick with the recap. We can like skip a bunch of stuff.
And we can explain the main.
I think we should go through as much as we can.
Okay. Do we have to?
Yes.
Okay.
So we open with a roll call of the bad guys.
Mm-hmm. It kind of explains the East Agency and like the main forces fighting right now.
Yeah, this takes
in
place
time
in
period.
1452 China. I'm not 100% on the plot.
I think it was
on the details.
So
This general.
you open on a scene of the introducing the two different like families, the East Agency and the.
I don't think they're families. I think they're factions.
Yeah, and the U family. And the East Agency obviously has more power, and you're not really introduced to like the politics of the region. But
I think
there's a
that's good. I don't
scene.
think we
There's a
need it.
scene right after that where
Well, first we gotta say that Yu Quinn, who's like a general,
Mhm.
is gonna get executed by the East Agency
Yeah.
family.
But then there's a scene after that where we're introduced to the brother in the story, and he's escorting the U family, and
Is he
these
related?
East Agency.
I believe he's related to the general. I believe
Okay.
he's the general's son, but I'm not 100%. Because
And
they
then,
do call his sister Yu at some point.
Yeah,
So I'm thinking it's kind of convoluted. It's not very.
but
well
anyways,
explained.
there's a
part of that might be
you're
the
introduced
subtitles.
to the brother, and he's escorting the U family, and East Agency bandits come up and try and attack them, and he wards them off with his expert swordsman skills
And his loud voice.
and his loud voice. And then cut to what else after that?
I believe the next we're going to we get to the Dragon Inn or the Dragon Gate Inn.
You're following the not the U family, but the East Agency
Mhm, They have like
into the Dragon Gate Inn.
the leader of the East Agency, who's a eunuch. They might all be eunuchs. I don't really know how that worked.
But
The leader's a eunuch at least.
Yeah,
He sent a group of his men to.
they're going to correspond with the U family and
Well,
kill them all. The
They
Dragon
went
Gate.
ahead of the Yu family to the Dragon Gate Inn in order to intercept them there and kill them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we're introduced also to the.
Well, we should probably
the
say
main character.
what they do once we actually. I call him the main character. It's not really a.
Like
not
a
really,
main
There's not really a protagonist. Yeah,
Mhm.
but I'd tell.
He's definitely our main character.
Yeah, he's definitely. We spend the most time with him.
Mhm.
So yeah, the East Agency guys. There's the leader of the group, his lieutenant, who is like one of the only characters I can remember. His name is Mao. Basically, they show up and the owner of the inn, Mr. Wu, is out, and they basically just harass the staff and kill 4 of them
Yeah.
and tell them not to let anyone else in to the inn. No other visitors. And then
Our main character arrives.
a man looking
Zhao.
Zhao. That's right. Ironically, I'm pretty sure the villain's name is also Zhao.
Yeah, just
Yeah, but it's
spelled
spelled
differently.
It's spelled differently. I don't know Chinese, so I can't. I'm sure
Yeah, I mean,
there's
like-
there's a difference there somewhere, but I don't know it. I think there's a lot of the stuff in this movie would probably make a little bit more sense if we knew a little bit more about
Yeah,
Chinese
sure.
culture. And this was in Chinese. We watched it with English subtitles. I'm
Okay.
sure there's stuff that got lost in translation.
So
The,
anyways,
the direct what was it the direct ort.
oh yeah, the director.
Director.
Direct otter, yeah.
Yeah.
So after we see Zhao arrive at the end, we see
The staff first tries to turn him away, but he
Yeah,
refuses. This might be my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah, for
this-
sure.
this is one of
They keep trying to kill him,
There's
and he just refuses to die.
There's I like this scene because it's all just like, get me noodles, get
Yeah,
me
yeah.
wine.
Yeah, the entire time he's acting very calm.
He's
like,
just like Chili's.
yeah.
And the staff is just like, okay. And there's like the 5 East Agency guys in the room.
Uh-huh.
And at one point they try to poison him, and he you think that he actually got poisoned for a second.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it looks like he drank it.
Yeah.
But he actually just kind of held it in his mouth.
I guess.
and-
I don't.
Well, no, I think it was that he
was
was
fake drinking it,
immune.
maybe?
I think it was that he was immune to poison.
I'm pretty
Because
no,
he's
he
definitely
held it in
drank
his
it.
mouth and then spat it in the guy's eye. Remember?
That's true.
Oh, right, true. Yeah.
So
yeah.
it doesn't really matter. He doesn't die.
Yeah.
But he
Yeah.
pretends to die, if you will.
I loved
Yeah,
the scene where they fire the arrow through the window. at
Yeah, they
him.
fire an arrow through a window, and
He
just
catches
goes-
it in a wine cup,
and then he
cup.
turns it around, puts it in a wine cup, and goes boom, and
It
it
flies
flies,
out.
out the window and kills
No,
the
that
dude.
was sick.
That
And
was-
they shoot again
that was-
at him,
that was
and
the-
he just goes dunk, and it hits another dude. And then they throw a throwing knife at him, and he catches it with chopsticks, and he's like, oh ho ho, and then just goes back to eating.
Oh.
Bruh.
Maybe projectiles aren't our best bet here, guys.
I think then like the leader of the bad guys arrives. The East Agency leader, the leader of the captain.
Yeah,
I don't remember his
military
name.
Commander or whatever his name is.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
He's wearing the same outfit as a protagonist,
which makes it difficult sometimes, especially when they fight each other. And they have the same like top knot haircut sort of thing. It gets a bit confusing at times. What happened next? I think
Lots of fighting.
I think the next thing of note is the arrival of the brother and sister.
Yeah, that's the next big event.
The brother who is dressed all in yellow and the sister who's dressed all in blue. First he was going to go leave the inn. He's like, oh, I'm going to leave the inn.
Yep, and then
he
his
met
brother, who is the owner of the inn,
who we find out later was a lieutenant under General Yu.
and also the brother and sister come. They find out that the brother and sister and the owner of the inn are related. And they're like, uh-oh, there's people coming to kill the Yu family.
Wu and Yu.
Yeah, because when they figure this out by finding orders on one of the soldiers that helps them realize that they're there to kill the Yu family.
Yeah.
You find 3 gold pieces and an iron sword.
And at this point, Zhao is now like a guest at the inn, even though they weren't supposed to let anyone in.
Yeah.
Because they can't really kick him out because he's better than all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the brother and sister show up, and there's a scene where they're eating dinner, another dinner scene where the East Agency tries to poison the brother and sister, but Zhao warns them, and then they end up becoming allies. They try to get killed a few times. I think there's some fights or something. The fights in this are very good.
Yeah.
The cinematography is brilliant. There's like scenes where people are like flipping off of roofs and landing on, I'm guessing, trampolines.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So after they show
and
up,
at some
there's,
point, Mao gets killed, getting stabbed through a door.
Yeah, there's just generally a lot of fighting.
A lot of
and then
chaos.
The Yu family
Finally shows up.
is there, and they're afraid.
After all this fighting, they kind of end up holding up in the inn and driving the rest of the East Agency out for the time being.
Right after that, like a detachment of soldiers, like Imperial soldiers, show up. And at first they're fighting each other, but then the East Agency shoots flaming arrows at the inn, and they're like, okay, yeah, the East Agency is evil.
Yeah.
I'm kind of fuzzy on this part because it's just a lot of fighting at the inn.
Yeah.
Not really a lot happens. In fact, the only person of any note that dies is Mao, and he's not really any note at all.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, the captain of the evil people goes and meets up with the leader of the East Agency, also named Zhao. And then they come back to the inn. The East Agency people arrive at the inn, and the leader of the soldiers gets completely annihilated.
Yeah.
I don't really know what his plan was. I guess just walk up and stab him, which was never going to work against Emperor Palpatine. He's got really stupid
He looks like
looking
an
hair,
anime character.
He does, and he looks
especially when
stupid.
his face gets all red.
Yeah.
And I think we also learned that this guy has asthma at some point. I'm pretty sure this is the character.
I
that
think
has
they
asthma.
do mention that because I know what you're talking about.
Zhao and the other people rig up a trap in the inn that arrows while they sneak off with the Yu family. And then the rest of the movie is them just being pursued, right?
Yeah.
And we should also mention that after the fight at the inn, the good guys took in the injured East Agency people and sort of like gave them some first aid and sent them on their way, except for 2 people who we learned, I think, they're Tartars, so I think that's Mongolian.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we want to join you instead of going on our way. We only learned one of their names.
I don't think
forget
they're
it. It was like Dao or something like that.
The rest of the movie is just them running away while the other people chase them.
It's like a cliffside, like
until
they're on
they
a mountain.
get to the final fight and they defeat all the bad guys.
Yeah, they kill the leader of the original detachment that went to the inn in a very ineffective way, although it worked. In which one of the guys literally jumps on the ground and just sort of rolls around. It doesn't look like it would work very well, but it does. They kill him.
And then they get to the main guy, the blonde dude.
But the girl isn't there yet. At this point, it's just Zhao, the brother, and the 2 guys who turn to the good side. And then starts the fight with Emperor Palpatine because they lure him out of his tent and they start fighting with him, and he's literally diving and spinning through the air and doing all sorts of
crazy.
It's an asthma attack.
It's a really, really long fight.
It's annoyingly long.
It's my least favorite scene in the.
Yeah, it's definitely the worst
sequence
fight scene
in the movie.
It's really lame too.
Like it's just I think the reason it's just because it goes on so long.
Yeah, I mean,
and this guy is just so winded. It's like, how is this guy still fighting off 4, later 5 people once he teleports down to where the sister is? Like he actually does some teleportation in trees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. And yeah, then they keep fighting, and then the one guy who turned good, who's wearing brown, gets stabbed, and then he does this ninja punch sort of thing that makes people cough up blood. Mm-hmm. He does that on Zhao and the sister, and then the brother turns around and does I thought he stabbed himself. He stabbed the leader of the East Agency, through himself, did a to kill him too behind him, which would have been, I think, pretty cool. But no, it turns out we went back and rewatched it. He sort of went down like this and stabs the guy. He's still not dead, and instead of waiting for this guy to just bleed out, the other good guy, the guy who I think was Dao or something, the other guy who turned, comes up and gets stabbed.
Yeah, he drives the sword farther into himself to kill Dao.
And then Dao just decapitates him.
And then they both fall off the cliff.
Or he falls over out of sight. I'm assuming off the cliff.
And we see the head kind of fly off too.
It was a good effect though. It was the only decapitation in the film. Then we just see.
Then we cut to them.
Zhao, the brother, and the sister walking away,
and all of them are.
And the Yu family's alive. Yay! All right.
This is an interesting.
Then I said the end. Although the end was not subtitled, I assume it said the end.
All right.
Are we gonna say if it's worth it?
I think so. So, Charlie, if you were staying at an inn, right? You're staying at an inn. Just let me paint a word picture for you. You're staying at an inn, and a man comes up and draws a sword on you and says, "Is Dragon Inn / Dragon Gate Inn worth it?"
Dragon Gate Inn is worth it up until they kill the main bad guy who looks like Zhao, right? And then from there, you can just skip from there to when they cut the main baddie's head off.
But as a
everywhere
whole,
else,
as
is
a
worth
whole,
it. Yes, it's worth it. It's
okay.
Worth it.
And what about you?
This movie is worth it narrowly because of the third act.
Yeah,
but worth
barely.
it.
No, I think I'd give it a more reasonable worth it, because the third act is kind of long, but I think that
the first two acts
least, more than make up for it, in my opinion.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, all throughout this movie, the cinematography and the fight scenes are just so entertaining to watch.
And the suspense.
And the entire dinner scene was just fantastic. It was a 10 or 15 minute scene probably, and the suspense the entire time held all the way through.
I would say the music's a little bit annoying.
I mean,
the music is awful.
I wouldn't say the music is awful. But there's parts where it's very good as well, I would say. No, I was definitely excited to watch this, and I think it lived up to it to some extent.
It got a little bit goofy at the end.
It did, yeah.
Well, it was a little bit goofy throughout, honestly.
Ian, did you say if it was worth it or not?
I did. It said it was worth it.
So we're unanimous once again. I think have we disagreed on any part?
Yes, we disagreed on Evil Heritage.
We did, yeah.
I kind of forgot that this movie was in Chinese. After the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is more of a good movie.
It's because the dialogue wasn't super important.
There wasn't a lot of dialogue.
Super important. That's not what you're watching this movie for.
About 90% of the dialogue was people saying okay,
or get back,
or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was stuff lost. I think the plot would have made a little bit more sense if we could actually understand Chinese.
Yeah.
I wasn't totally lost.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was actually completely lost up until half an hour in. But once Wu meets up with the children, brother and sister, whatever you want. Yeah, I don't think there's much else to say. I've been Ian.
I've been Austin.
I've been Charlie.
And this has been... Is it worth it?
Yes, it was.
Yes,
it was.
It was.
This is from 67.
Mm-hmm.
Really
good choreography.
There's no way this is from 67.
Why is it that? Just good film quality?
The audio, the angles, the
Have you seen the one from Arabia?
looks, that's true.
This is oddly good film quality.
This looks digital.
No, there's no way this is from 67.
Here, let's look at something. Is that what you're looking at?
Strike 2! Alright, let's...
Are you gonna leave that in?
Hmm?
Are you gonna leave any of the footage of us watching the 1992 version being like, no, I'm sure this is film. No, yeah, this is 67.
Yeah, no, you have to leave that in.